of a Linux man page. I think like section 3 is like system, and section 1 is, let me just look that up. Linux man page sections. System calls are section 2. So what's 7? 7 is miscellaneous. so git core falls under miscellaneous as far as Linux is concerned. General commands, so those would be like ls and bi, and system calls would be low-level Linux calls like that you would write. You would invoke in code that you wrote, like C code.
Looks like something like
that. Yeah. So when you see that, basically that's what you're seeing is this which section of Linux man page it falls under.
So
yeah. Where's it the same I got here? Interesting. Yeah, getscm.com is a great resource. It's the guy that maintains that came and spoke at DRW. Sat with us for an afternoon, and looked at what we had and made some suggestions. Scott Chacon, I think he was, maybe still is, a GitHub employee. So he's doing a great service by keeping this website up to date. Yeah, so. Yeah, he's doing pretty low level stuff. You would probably never do this, update -index. Or checkout -index or read tree. These are all really low level Git stuff. I've never run those in my life.
Yeah, it's going into the Netherlands a little bit.
He's just going deep, yeah, just doing a deep dive. LS files, same thing. It's looking at the index specifically, at what's in the index, looking at the index tree. Merge index, I never run that. Huh. I've never seen that command either. Where's that? Right here. Public host, path to my Git. Yeah, he gets pretty deep. I wouldn't, if I were you, I guess I wouldn't worry about this particular Git core tutorial right now. It's looks like it can go pretty low level. Yeah, he even says at the top, if you just want to use it for revision control, just go with the tutorial, not the core. Yeah, this is just basic good stuff here. Okay, everybody back? So Aaron has graciously agreed to loan us his branch to play with. So I thought what I'd do is, if you guys have this school repo downloaded or cloned onto your system, so let's think about what we might be able to do to collaborate. So let's look at Aaron's branch. We sort of did this already, right, with the git show. Copy that git show this thing. Don't know anything about the project, but I am pretty retentive about having spaces at the ends of lines. So I'm going to go fix those. That's going to be my contribution to this branch. Let's all work on Aaron's branch. So how do we do that?
Cherry pick.
We're all just gonna help out Aaron and put stuff onto his branch and you know, commit our changes and pull our changes and just pitch in for Aaron here. Get his just make it much better somehow, right? So how do we all do that? How do we all get to collaborate on that branch? What's the first step?
You git checkout.
Yep. Exactly. So here's our branch. I want to copy that. And I think the most recent revision of Git is smart enough for us to just say this. Right? Well, first we want to make sure that there's nothing going on in our branch. Oh, nothing going on. Let's go get that. Go onto that branch. And so, again, Git is making a lot of sort of assumptions for us in the absence of other information. It says, oh, you're checking out this branch. Oh, it doesn't exist. But look, there's a branch called this that lives on the origin, the remote that you're pointing to. You must mean that. Let me go ahead and make this local branch, and let me also have it track this branch out on this remote. That's what all that happened when we said this. So it did that for us. Told us what it did. So now let's see what our status looks like. So where are we? Okay, so we moved down to here, didn't we? Our head moved down. It's no longer pointing to master. Now it's pointing to this local pointer, because green is local, at least in my setup. And red is what's out there on the remote we're pointing to. So once you guys do that, get yourself in this situation along with me.
So I've cloned this repo before. How do I get the updates with all of the branches?
That's a good question. How do you get how do you pull down the latest sort of state of the remote? It's the first part of what a git pull does, as a hint. What does a git pull do? What are the two steps that a git pull does?
Fetches.
Fetches. Right. So you can do a git fetch. And then if that doesn't show you everything, I don't know what's going on. So get fetch will reach out to the remote. How does it know which one? Because you have got it configured somewhere. You've only got one remote. It's called origin, so it says you must mean that one. So I'm going to go reach out to that one via this URL that you've given me, and it has a fetch and push URL, which happen to be the same in all of our scenarios. So it says when you do a get fetch, I'm going to go to this fetch URL. I'm going to pull down all the sort of the references that are there. I'm going to follow those references and grab every SHA that reference needs that I don't have, and pull that over into the local repo, and then you'll have it. Let me know if that's not the case, but I'm pretty sure that's what get fetch will do for you. So I'm also, I'm just going to drop this stash because we've already done all the messing with it we need to do. So get stash was drop. Yeah. This does the trick. Okay, so now it's out of the way. So yeah, now we're up on Aaron branch. Everybody get there okay? So I'm going to go ahead and make a change. And why don't you guys also go ahead and make a change?
So I checked out to Aaron's branch, but my head's still pointing to my old branch.
What message did it give you? That's an interesting
Where
scenario.
it said, or actually, no, I didn't. Actually, never mind. I just didn't. That was the old one. It points to Aaron's branch now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that would have been weird. It happens. I get weird places we get. But okay, so we've got where we're at Aaron branch. So it doesn't show me anything. Okay, there's what I wanted. Okay, so I'm gonna, for my part, I'm gonna take all those spaces out at the end of lines and check it back in. So you guys, we're gonna throw this away, by the way. So we'll force push it back to where it was before. So don't worry about making any kind of change you want. I just want to demonstrate kind of some of the dynamics of collaborating on a branch, on the same branch. So I'm going to make a change. I'm going to commit it. I'm going to push it up, and you guys do the same, and we'll see who gets there first, and what happens if you don't get there first. So let's see, gem file. We got something in school, something in school spec, and staff. There's probably a command to fix all those in one go, but I'm just going to do them by bit by bit. File. There's a staff RB. I'm going to search for things at the end of lines. There's one. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. Another one. They're everywhere. And okay, that took care of all those. Right out. I'm using Vim, by the way. Rid of that one. Goes right out to go to the next file. Search within. Search. Get all those. Last one. Let's see how we did. Let's see. Okay, those are all the changes I've made just to the spaces and lines. What other files there were that had those? School spec was another one. Spec. Rid of that one. Any others? That's it. So here's my diffs. I'm gonna add them all. I'm gonna commit them. Kill space. Kill trailing white space. I'm gonna get push. First, I'm going to do a get show to see what I've changed. Not much. If you, get diff in this context is, so remember the three trees, workspace, index, and head. So if you do a get diff, it's between workspace and index. Get diff dash dash stage is index and head. So if it's so that's useful if you're ready to commit and you want to just review what you're going to commit before you commit it. You say get diff dash dash staged. Okay. Look at the diffs. Okay, that looks right. Okay, commit. Get show looks at two commits. So your head commit versus the previous commit. So when I do get show, this is what I've already committed.
Oh, yeah, it's get diff when showing your comments.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Get diff is nothing.
Okay.
So now I'm going to hurry up and push before somebody. Oh, somebody beat me to it. Shoot. Updates were rejected. Somebody beat me to it. Let's see what we've got here. I can't see because I haven't done a get fetch. Let's go get fetch and see what who got in there ahead of me. Okay. Aaron Solutions. Wait, why don't I see that?
Leanna K.
What's that?
Leanna K.
Did she?
Yeah.
Ah.
It's
Leanna's faster than I am. How come I didn't see that though? I should get fetch.
It's there on your list. When you
Did I
do
not
get,
see it?
it's the added annoying spaces in README.
Ah, right, exactly. So yeah. So I'm trying to get rid of annoying spaces, and you're adding them. Man, clearly a conflict. So, all right. So now what? Now what do we do? I want to commit, but somebody's got in ahead of me. What's my next move? I mean, actually, I have committed to be precise. I have committed. I want to push.
Well, we could get push origin master co-master.
Okay, let's try that. Get push origin master. Everything up to date.
No.
Would you,
Why does it say that? Everything up to date. Why does it say everything's up to date?
we're not, did push origin and the SHA that was changed?
Okay, so what's the SHA that was changed? So first let's this mystery here. Why doesn't this do anything? Or this?
Because we're talking about Aaron's branch, not about master.
Right. Yeah, master. If we look at here, so master. This is master or local master, right? And we're saying push the local master to origin master. Well, guess what? They're on the same SHA. So Gid's like, I don't say anything wrong. You told me to push your master up to the origin master, but they're already in sync. So I'm good.
So maybe get push Aaron branch to master.
Well, we don't want to necessarily push to master right now because master's all the way down here. We're working on Aaron branch, and precisely we're working on multiple copies of Aaron branch. There's the one on origin. There's the one that I've got. There's also one that Leanna has that she just pushed and brought origin Aaron branch up in sync with, and then each of you have a copy of it.
So you got to pull Leanna's copy and then make your changes and then push it.
Right. Yeah. So we're on Aaron branch. I'm on my copy of Aaron branch, or my, my pointer.
So get check out instead of Leanna's shaw.
Well, not the checkout. We're already checked out on the branch,
Okay.
but we need to merge.
Oh.
We've already fetched, so we can do a get pull, and then the fetch would be a no op, or we could just do just a get merge, right? So what are we merging exactly?
Yours with Leanna's.
Or actually the other way around.
Leanna's with yours.
Leanna's, right. And how do I specify Leanna's?
You grab her shaw.
Well, we really don't have Leanna's directly. We just have what she shared with us up to the remote, right? And what she shared with us was this one. That's the one she shared with us. Does that make sense? So that's
the most, or that was the first change that happened. So it's
let's
the origin.
take a look. Yeah. So because Leanna got there first, this thing moved from where it was down here, right? I kind of intuit that because this is where I came from. So I branched off of what this was, or where this was, which must have been down here because this is where my commit went, right? Meantime, Leanna made her change and pushed it up, and she had branched off the same place, but now she's got a different change, and she committed it locally. Then she pushed it up, and now she got to move this thing forward before I got there. And so now GitHub says, hey, you can't go there because if you push this thing onto here, you're going to collide with this thing. So you have to figure out what to do with this first. Is that making sense to everyone? So yeah, so now I've got to, what kind of mode am I in? Get out of there. Q, okay, so now I've got to, yes, merge. If I remember all this, I can do that, or I can just, like I said, do a get pull. I'm just going to go ahead and do this, make sure that I understand what's going on. So now it's saying, okay, you can do this, but give me a comment to represent this merge. So you can use this comment, or you can merge something else, right? So merge changes, probably from Leanna. She told us. All right, let's see what that does. Cool. Now I can push, right? Yes. And the reason I can push is because none of you guys have done this before I did it. If you had, then I would have been turned back again. And I would have had to merge again because I would have had to pull your changes in. Right? And so you can get in kind of a, I don't know, a rut, right? Where you're constantly trying to pull stuff down from a branch that's really busy and never quite getting your changes in there. So just because you have Git to help you with this kind of stuff doesn't mean that it's all you need. You may still need to text around and say, hey guys, can you hold off for a minute so I can get my stuff up there? Because otherwise it might be too busy for you to get a commit in edgewise, so to speak. So go ahead and try that. Go ahead and try a git pull. And
Well, at that point, does it make more sense to make your own branch and then it could be merged later?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's branches are supposed to help you collaborate. and you can. I mean, it depends on what's going on that branch. If that branch is something that needs to be busy and needs things to go out, then maybe you need to keep up with it and just try your best to get your changes in there. But if you need a quiet place to work and you just need to pull in occasionally, maybe you've got a long-lived change that you're making, and you just kind of do what you need to do, and then once in a while you sync up with whatever's going on out there by doing a pull into your branch. Then that may just be what you want to do.
I think that the instances that I've bumped into this is where I'm making a change that is taking me multiple days to actually complete. And so by the time I get back to it, it's the original branch has changed so much, and it's giving me merge conflicts when I do try to push it up. So the easiest way to do that, if I still have my local work that I want to add, I'll just do a fetch and a pull, or just one or the other.
Yeah, you want to. I think you want to pull in changes often enough that you don't have merge conflicts that sort of just get out of control.
Okay. Have you ever had an issue where you can't pull because of conflicts?
Well, you can always fetch, right? Because that's just pulling in, updating pointers so you can see them. Yeah, you could merge. Say you're fetching and you see like somebody's committed 20 changes and you need to catch up. And it may just fail miserably. You may try merging the whole thing and it just fails. But you don't have to merge the whole thing, right? You can merge from an arbitrary point. So I don't know. Say you were down here at the bottom, rename files 61806, and then you branched off of there, and you're out here, and then you're trying to merge, starting from up here at the top. Well, you could merge from here if you wanted. You don't have to choose. When you say get merge, you give it a branch, but a branch is just resolves to a SHA. So you could also say get merge from a given SHA, which could be somewhere in the middle of that set of changes that ultimately ends in that where that branch points to. Right. So I could say get merge E634. If I was coming from down here and just merging out. Let me just try that just for so I'm not hand waving. So I'm going to branch off of here. Right. So now I've got a branch. I haven't checked out to it yet. So I'm now also going to get checkout -B if I thought of it, but now I'm on branch demo. Now I'm way down here, right? So let's see. I want to merge with up here. Let's make a file. Change. Give yourself put another change in there. And git commit. Okay. So now I've got my branch up here, right? So I can merge, get merge master, which would, where's master? Right here. Here's master, which would bring me up to master. Or I could get merge with Aaron branch, which is way up here. Or I could do something else. What if I just wanted to merge? If I thought, well, maybe all these changes, or at least the changes on this line here, are too much for me. Let me just merge a little ways. Like maybe I can merge this far. right? Because I can see this eventually ends up at master, but I don't want to suck those all in at once. Let me just do a little bit at a time. I should be able to copy that, git merge to that. Okay, it says, okay, let's go with that. Let's see how that played out. So here's where it started. And I merged A64. I merged here, right? So now I've got this merge commit that just went part way. You see that? And I can say, oh, well, that looks good. Let me go a little further up toward master, or I'm sorry, to Aaron branch, is where I'm eventually heading, right? Let me merge this one too. Copy that, git merge that too. Okay. Comment, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, all right, so now that one has been merged in as well. All right, so here's this. So now I'm still going up toward Aaron branch, and maybe now I want to get this far. Copy that. I'm being a little extreme just to press the point, but oh, now I see a conflict, right? So now I've got to see what the conflict is. Oh, look at all this stuff. Wasn't here before. So there's Culpeper. I'm going to keep him. Pick out the duplicates, whatever, you know, some sort of resolution. Let's sort it. Oh, there's a duplicate. Duplicate merge.
I think I made the janitor the assistant principal.
That's all right. It's good enough. So we'll add it. Changes. Commit them. You know. Reconcile. CSVDB. Sort it. Whatever I did, right? Okay. So now. See what our tree looks like now. Okay, so here's where I came from here. So I'm almost up to this Aaron branch where I was originally headed. So now I can just go ahead and finish the job and just git merge Aaron branch, right? Spell that right. Okay. That. And so here's Aaron branch, here's me, here's the most recent merge, right? It went from there to here, and then I merged from here up to here. So you can see all these different partial merges I did along that way. So I think the point is you don't have to bite off the whole set of changes at once. If it's giving you problems, if somebody's made a whole bunch of wholesale changes and you don't know where the conflicts are coming from exactly, you can try different sub pieces of that line of development. I mean, you have to learn how to read this diagram in order to keep track of where you're at, but it is very expressive. Sorry, go ahead.
Would you want to do like a prune after that to like get rid of all of those multiple lines, or would you just keep them?
So a prune is something different. A prune gets rid of anything that doesn't have any branch refs pointing to it. So like in the case of our commit from a work in progress that we abandoned, right? When you delete a branch, then you've got something to prune. Here we've got things pointing back. Like each of these commits has multiple parent pointers, right? And that's almost the definition of a merge commit. It's got more than one parent pointer. So that's important history. That's where they came from.
I didn't quite make it there.
Okay.
I got stuck with this, and I don't know how to exit that.
Okay. So what's it?
I tried a bunch of stuff down here to get out of that.
So you're in an editor, or
I don't know.
Sure.
I got there from that.
git commit.
Did you try Q?
Yeah, and Command Q.
This is iTerm.
Command Z.
Exit.
Oh no, not command, just the letter Q.
Oh, you've got so this thinks you're still in. So you've got this Sharif's.
Changes.
Yeah,
Right,
it thinks this is the end of this is quoted, and then it thinks you're going to quote something else. So what you could do is Control C would do it, but you could also put another quote in that would give you all that. All that is your part of your comment.
Nice. Thank you.
Control C is your friend. Okay, so has anybody else tried to do a push and failed and done a pull instead? Gotten that far?
I got to do a stash because I hadn't saved the changes to my own branch. That was good.
Okay. Yeah, stash is cool. I think I've got time to show you one more thing. I want to show you the cherry pick before we get done here. So, see if we can think of a scenario that would make a cherry pick desirable. Let's say, so a cherry pick is basically taking one commit from anywhere and putting it onto your, putting it in your branch. And when I say putting it in your branch, it doesn't just put the code in your workspace, and it actually puts the commit there. So it tries to do whatever it needs to do to put the commit, to add the commit to your branch. So it moves your branch forward. So say let's just stick with this demo since I'm on here. Actually, let's go back to Aaron branch since that's where everybody else is. So I'm gonna git checkout Aaron branch. Okay. Here I am on Aaron branch. Say I want to get, I've heard that John has an awesome commit over here on Origin John's branch, right? And maybe he's got 5 or 6 other commits, and I don't want all those. I don't want to merge his branch, and get all those commits. I just want that one commit. So what you can do is find a reference to it, either by copying this or by even just saying, you can say this, because this is also a reference to that SHA. And so instead of saying git merge that, I'll say git cherry pick. Again, the difference being that a merge will pull everything, pull all the commits that are on that branch that are not on yours. But a cherry pick just grabs one commit. So, of course, it's got conflicts. Right, so the school is different. All that. So I still have to resolve conflicts. Search for these guys. There's the head. There's okay, so here's where the before and after is, right? So it's saying this down here corresponds to this partial solution. So this is John's stuff right here at the bottom. Aaron's stuff is up here. So that's something you have to keep in mind. If you do a cherry pick, you could get conflicts that you have to resolve. And because John's is so awesome, I'm just going to take John's and leave all this others behind. magic VI command, delete all the other stuff, get this. All right, check that in. So finish the story. The point is the cherry pick is one commit. Oh, got more? My goodness, there's more stuff. Oops. Oh, I didn't do a get add, did I? Da, 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 da. Staff, it's reminding me, is also got some issues. Yep, staff has got some. Look at all that stuff in staff. I'm just going to keep all that. So where am I at now? Status. Staff. I'm a student. Some stuff. Here's the split point. Split point is not there. There. Oh, that's a lot, isn't it? Good grief. Okay, well, so you can see that you kind of need to be good at your editor in order to move around and handle all this stuff. I'm gonna with VI you can mark the top, and I'm gonna just go down and take everything on the bottom. Delete all that stuff before then. Get rid of the commit marker. Get at it. Okay. So now, so here it was on origin errand branch, or kind of there, and then I did a cherry pick, and you can't really tell unless you put it in the comment where that cherry pick came from, because your commit SHAs aren't going to match the original, and you're not going to have a merge. It's not really apparent. You're just grabbing it as it is, jamming it on top of what you've got, and putting it in. So sometimes that makes sense. Sometimes it could be a little iffy. And a merge might be a better way to reflect how you got that content onto your branch. So you have to kind of make a judgment call sometimes. Plus, cherry pick is only one commit, and where a branch takes the whole string, of commits that are on that branch, merges all that content into your line of development. So one case I use cherry pick is when I know there's a file that I'm not working with at all on my branch, but somebody else has fixed something that I care about with, and it's encapsulated in one commit, maybe two commits, but generally one. I can just pull it on over. Maybe it's on master and I need just that thing. I don't want to mess with merging all of master, but I just need that one thing that helps me work over here effectively. I can just cherry pick it, and then when I go to merge next time, it'll already be there, so I won't have to worry about it again because I've already cherry picked it. So that content is there on my branch already. So that's a case where that could come in handy. You'd be surprised how often you want to just take that one set of changes and just bring them on in and move on. I think that's about all we've got time for. Any questions before we wrap up? I think I hope I've shown you enough to show you that you can play around with Git and get back to where you were before, at least, so you don't have to be afraid of trying stuff, even if it's out on the remote. Did we leave the remote in a good place? I forget. I think Origin Master is back where it was before, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where it was left. So as far as Master goes on Origin, we're good. How about Aaron's branch? Do we need to clean up Aaron's branch a little?
I'm getting merge requests, so I'll just ignore the merge request.
That's cool. And it looks like Leanna's already pushed the changes, so we could get rid of those. So Aaron, if you want to get back to where you were before, you can just do a force push of a specific SHA, because you at least have that history in your record now. So and you'll have it there. So that's another thing about a force push. It kind of destroys history. So you want to make sure that you know what you're doing, as well as annoys other people that have already pulled down. So if you push something up and force it up, then that suddenly gives them merge conflicts where they didn't have any before. So that could be annoying to your teammates if you force push after they've already grabbed the latest, and you change what the latest is by going elsewhere. You basically branched off, and we're going to make them do it too. Okay, so that's all I've got as far as Git. I think I've got later in the week a HTTP session scheduled. I'll go back and look up. Is it Friday, John? Or
It is Friday for HTTP.
Friday. Okay, so Friday morning. I'll see you guys for that. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.